Hi everybody, it's Mike. My first Las Vegas trip was in the early 2000s with my girlfriend at the time. She's actually still my girlfriend. We've been together for over 20 years. We don't want to rush into anything, so we're taking it slow. But part of that trip, we did spend a day downtown Las Vegas. And then when I started going to Las Vegas on a more frequent basis around 2012, I never went back downtown. It just wasn't really something I wanted to do. But that was until December 2021. That trip I wanted to do a couple of different things, and that meant finally going back downtown. One new thing I did this trip was take the Deuce Bus. You can see my other video on my thoughts on that. One day this trip was set aside to take the Deuce downtown. So I got on at the Flamingo, and it was a smooth ride downtown. Now, one reason I never ventured downtown was the stories that it isn't exactly a great neighborhood if you stray just a couple of blocks from Fremont Street. And I saw that for myself as I attempted to walk over to the El Cortez. I like getting chips from different casinos, so even though I wasn't going to play there, I still wanted to get a chip. So I walked past Slotzilla and the Heart Attack Grill. I'm overweight, but I'm not to the point where I could get a free meal there. I crossed over Las Vegas Boulevard and stopped for some pics at Evil Pie. I didn't go in there, though. Then I saw a guy a block or so ahead of me. He was just wandering the sidewalk, yelling something into the stores and restaurants as he passed by them. He was between me and the El Cortez. Even though it was the middle of the day, I don't need that, so I turned around and never made it to the El Cortez. My first stop was the D. Of course, the casinos downtown aren't like the glitzy ones on the Strip. I'm okay with that. But I'm starting to think maybe I'm not a downtown Vegas type of guy. I did snap a picture of the craps table, bought a pair of craps dice, and did get a chip. Most likely just went to the cage and asked if I could buy a chip, since I didn't play any games there. Craps, by the way, was $15. Fremont Casino was next. No picture of a chip because the cashier said they weren't selling them because there was a shortage. Okay. Happens every once in a while where a casino won't sell you a chip, and I totally forgot my trick of asking a waitress if I could get one off of her from her chips from her tips. I've done that a couple of times, and that works. Costs, by the way, $15, and I wasn't going to play just to get a chip. I'm guessing I turned off the beaten path about this time, but I forget why. Oh, right. Yes, because I went to Downtown Grand and got a chip and took a picture of the cigarette machine. I don't know why. Pizza Rock is right there, and I remember people saying it's good, and I was hungry, so I got seated and looked over the menu. Waitress comes over. Can I get a couple of slices? No, I cannot. They don't sell slices when you sit down in the dining area. I'll have to get an entire pizza. Really? Really? She said the pepperoni was probably one of the smaller pies, so that's what I got. First 2 pieces down, I made it down to 2 slices left, and I didn't want to overstuff myself. It was pretty good, though. I'd go back. I've heard of people boxing up their leftovers and giving them to a homeless person. I certainly wasn't going to walk around the rest of the day into the night carrying around 2 slices of pizza. The only problem was I wanted to make sure the person I gave the pizza to was actually a homeless person. I don't want to walk up to just anybody and assume that they're homeless just because maybe they look like they were homeless. I was back on Fremont Street when I saw a guy, asked him if he liked pizza because I've heard some people trying to give a homeless person food, and they said no because they didn't like what they had. But he said yes. I gave him my box, and he thanked me. So that was cool. Four Queens was next. Went inside and got a chip. That's where the Silver Strike slot machine was. You can win collectible tokens that have a certain amount of silver in them. I didn't play, though. If you're really interested, you can find them on eBay. And here's a picture I think is also from the Four Queens. Don't ask. It's a Twitter thing. There was actually $10 craps there, but I didn't play. By the way, here's the Christmas tree on Fremont Street. Over to Binion's, which had $10 craps. I remember Binion's from my early 2000s trip. This was before they got rid of the poker room, so I got to see it back then. The place oozed poker history, but those memories are long gone now. I did walk around a little in there and got a chip. Ducked into the Golden Nugget, got a chip. It was $15 craps, and nobody was playing. Been downtown a couple hours, still haven't gambled, so when I popped into Golden Gate and there was a $10 craps table, I finally decided to play. Good choice. Not sure how long I played, but I won $241. They have these cool old slot machines there too. I believe that's where I borrowed these pens, yes. But this time it started to rain, not too heavy at first though. Ducked into Circa and was surprised I had to provide my ID to get in. I'm well over 21, but apparently they scanned the ID of everybody going into Circa. My first impression, the music was way too loud, and if you think that's because I'm old, well, I've heard others mention the same thing. Got me a chip and checked out the sports book. Quite impressive. I thought I took photos of it, but I can't find them, so maybe I didn't. I did get the standard picture of Vegas Vicky, which everybody must take a picture of, and there was one craps table open, and it was $15. I walked over to the California, planning on trying some ice cream from Lappert's. I've heard good things, but when I looked at the sign at the bottom of the escalator listing the hours of the stores, I didn't think it was open. So I walked away and then thought, oh, did I read that right? So I went upstairs the escalator to check, and sure enough, they were open. I got some coffee ice cream in a cup and had no problem finishing it off. It was pretty damn good. Got a chip, saw it was $15 craps, and used the walkway over Main Street to get to the Main Street station. One problem going to Vegas in December, especially on weekday afternoons, is not everything is up and running. One casino, I forget which one, touts they have $5 craps. I think it was the Grand, but not when I was there. The table games were all closed that day at the casino. And the same thing with the table games at Main Street Station. So I got my chip and walked on down to the plaza. I like the entrance to the plaza, nice and bright. I forget what's like inside though. I just got my chip and left. They had a $10 craps table, but nobody was playing. I don't like playing alone, and I was really getting tired by this point. By now, it was raining more steadily. For whatever reason, I decided to walk back down Fremont Street to get the Deuce Bus on Las Vegas Boulevard, even though I'm pretty sure there were stops a lot closer. I'm pretty soaked by now, and I'm standing at the bus stop and waiting and waiting. I don't know why, but I decided to look at the other side of the bus stop sign, the side facing away from me. Oh, look at that. Plastered on the sign is a notice saying that this stop is temporarily suspended. I have to go to the next one. I was pretty mad since part of the sign facing me didn't say that, so I ended up walking down Las Vegas Boulevard in the rain, in the dark, because it's December and the sun sets early, all the way down to Stewart Avenue and almost down to the Mall Museum. There were a couple of Deuce buses sitting there, but all I could see was one, and I'm thinking, with my luck, it's going to pull away before I get there, since I wasted 10 minutes or so at the non-functioning bus stop. But when I got to the last bus in line, there were actually 3 buses there, and people were getting off that last bus and getting on the bus that was in front of the line. I just mixed in with the crowd and took a seat. This was my view on the way back to the Flamingo. So here's a picture of all the chips I got that day. I had to go to my room and change my clothes since I was pretty soaked at this point. So is downtown for me? I don't think so. I certainly see why people like it there, but I'm not one of them. Maybe I'll go down there in a future trip and check it out again. By the way, don't list in the comments, oh, you have to go downtown, the strip sucks, blah, blah, blah. Just go where you want to go and have fun where you're at. Don't tell people, oh, you can't go there, it sucks. You have to go here, it's the greatest. Just go where you want to go, okay? I like the strip. I like staying there. That's where I like to go. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video down below. And boy, sure be super if you subscribe too. Okay, I'll talk to you later.